shortly. Hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing fine. We have BRIC-A-BRAC here again. I hope everyone is good. Not that there's anyone in the chat yet, but hopefully soon. And we have Ryan on for it. Unfortunately, they did not fund last time, but they're back at it, and we're spotlighting them again. Because, we're here to try and help anybody that we can, meet their goal. And it looks like that you're over halfway there at the moment.
Yeah, we're doing much better than I anticipated. So, honestly, it's a blessing.
Yeah. Your goal is a little bit less than last time I noticed.
Yeah.
So, that probably helps. And,
It does.
You've got a few more backers.
But all in all, it was nothing crazy. It's going to be essentially the same goal as we had last year. And so that's good. The book, I initially wanted it to be a little longer, but that's okay because we're going to have an issue 3 instead of just finishing it all in issue 2.
Okay.
So it's actually a good thing in some respects, because then not only can we have more covers, we can have more fans who are engaging with the book. And I think every new issue is an opportunity to get the book in front of other people's eyes. So I think it's really not a bad thing at all.
No. So you said yeah. You were saying you had to make some compromises, cutbacks. What are those exactly?
Yeah. So the book is going to be about 5 pages for 30 pages. And then the book is also, and I simplified the price of that. So we had like T-shirts and kind of crazy things like, having your own ornaments, which that stuff costs a lot, and I had to put those costs into the overall book, the funding, and it's just not good. And I am kind of paying for a lot more of the book than I initially was going to. But again, I think crowdfunding, you're supposed to ask for what you need, not what you want. I was asking for what I wanted. I wanted 9,000 so I could make something really big, but I really need 5,000 to make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's, and that's the thing about crowdfunding. It's an experience. You're not gonna get it right
100% of the time.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and I think a great thing is you should always ask for what you need to do it, not what you want.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's kind of crowdfunding. It just doesn't work that way. Like it's especially when you're starting out, you're really only going to get what you need, maybe even less than that. So
yeah,
it's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, for sure. My mom came in here and she was wanting to ask a question, but I have no idea what. So she went out of the room. You were talking, so I got her to be quiet. It's like, so if she wants to come in and ask, no, she's going to hear this in a few seconds outside the TV. So you've got the feature perk, which is the physical book. Which is a digital copy digital copy of 1 and 2. Okay, here she comes.
Just ask him to speak up a bit.
Oh.
Because he sounds a little low and mumbled, and you're loud. I can't get this.
Okay.
At our level.
Yeah. Yeah, so can I. So somehow I think it's either my mom or something. I don't know. Our TV. Maybe I know what it is. My desktop audio is off. Sorry.
Yet again, it's the desktop audio problem. Rick, you need to sticky note on the side of your computer. Check desktop audio.
Yeah. Well, when I'm playing Final Fantasy, I turn it down. I turn that off so it doesn't record the desktop audio. And unfortunately, sometimes I forget to have people on when I'm having people on. And this morning when I was doing my show, nobody's here, so I don't think to turn it on. So, my bad.
That's why you need a note right there that says check desktop audio.
Marsupial saying the same thing. Well, he should be able to be heard now. Well, you want to go over that whole compromise stuff again so people can hear?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was just that I had to make some compromises with just some of the pages, and we're going to have an issue 3 instead of finishing just in issue 1. So, or issue 2 rather. So that was kind of the main goal, but then with the compromises, that's kind of what we had to do. So actually, and it's a good thing because with issue 3, we'll be able to add more pages and then more story. Ultimately, I think it's a good thing all around. I think, but again, you have to ask for what you want or what you need instead of what you want. In crowdfunding. So it's always what you need to make the book, and so that's this goal is what I need to make it. So
cool.
It's kind of just the compromise.
Yeah.
Also, a quick note, Rick.
Yes.
You forgot to change your restream destination again. Currently, you are on Showcase Subject Molecule. You need to change your title. Okay,
I could have sworn I changed that, but the restream.
Just letting you know so you can do that while we're talking.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll go do that. You want to ask a couple questions?
I had sent people to the wrong stream, and it was just like an empty chat. I'm like, why is it not playing?
Okay. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm in the wrong one. I could have sworn I switched it over, but you want to ask a possible couple questions while I'm trying to get this all set up?
Oh, I'm trying to think of some because all my good questions I used last time.
Well, ask them again. Let me think. So, first thing you have, first perk is the feature 1, which is a physical. You get digital both and physical of 1 and 2 for $24 and a exclusive print. That is a good deal.
Yeah, and the shipping's only $5, so the shipping is a lot less than last time. I kind of asked for a little too much last time, and so that was another thing that I kind of tried to focus on was I'm using a different way of mailing now, so it's going to be cheaper for the shipping also, and at least domestically. So that's a bonus for people in the U.S.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got in the chat got any questions? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, new shipping is good. Maybe for those that are gonna just be hearing this for the first time, you wanna maybe go over the story, the world of BRIC-A-BRAC.
Yeah. It's a Christmas themed book. This is the first book, and it's just about kind of like a war on a Christmas planet that a kid is trying to find Father Christmas, who he thinks can help him stop this war on this Christmas planet. And this story is about his journey in finding him and the characters he meets along the way. And you'll basically meet a lot of characters you might be a little bit familiar with, maybe from Jack Frost or Father Christmas himself or Mrs. Claus or some of the elves. But then you'll meet new cast members and new characters that inhabit the planet that are going to be totally are different and interesting and bring new traits to the table. And I think it's just the all around different kind of Christmas story I've never seen before. So it's an all ages book, but it has a unique tone because it has kind of a sci-fi mix with kind of like a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cast of characters. So that's kind of the main story.
Yeah, I think you were relating it to a Star Wars-like story. But
exactly.
Except, not as bad as when Star Wars tried to do Christmas.
Right, because Life Day, no one wants to celebrate Life Day.
No, not at all.
So
yeah, like You were talking about last time how even though they're the same characters, unique version of the characters you might know to this like planet or realm that it exists in.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe you want to go over a couple of the main characters. The boy, I think you said the boy, or I'm not sure what his name is offhand.
Yeah. So the boy's name is Garrett. So here, let me show. Yeah, he's just kind of like a young boy who lives on a isolated planet, or on an isolated island on the planet, and he doesn't know about the war yet. And until the Nutcrackers, who are the evil force in the book, kind of attack his home. And he's kind of forced into saving his friends who kind of get kidnapped by the Nutcrackers, and then also trying to find Father Christmas, like I said, who can stop, he thinks can stop the war. And so he's our main character, and he is constantly trying to find, just they go through. And he meets a character named Marie, who's a lot older than him, who kind of guides him through this whole journey. She's a leader in a militia who's fighting against the Nutcracker, so she can actually help him move through the planet, the dangerous parts of the planet, with ease. I guess a little bit of ease. There's always conflict, as you will see in the second issue, especially. But yeah, I mean, they're just. That's kind of the main dynamic is between those two characters as they go through and meet a lot of different characters, from Father Christmas to the enemy Nutcrackers to Jack Frost. So those are the main two characters.
Okay. Also, okay. So number 2 digital. You can get the second book here for $8, which is good. Do the physical ones come signed?
They can, if you request it, but I've never had a lot of people request me to sign things. I think only one person did last time. So, but yeah, if you ask me and message me, I will definitely do that.
Okay, that's fair enough for sure. So BRIC-A-BRAC 2. $12 for the physical. These are good prices. You know?
Yeah, I tried to make it a little better than last time because I think again the prices are really big, especially when you're buying a book that you don't get immediately. I think like when you're asking for so much, it's just a turnoff for a lot of people. You know, and you know too because you've probably backed a lot of books, and you know it's just.
Yeah, not as many as I would have liked, but... Right. The BRIC-A-BRAC digital bundle, I think this is both books for $15, which you're saving $1 then, which is always good.
Yeah.
This looks like a new one. The Donate BRIC-A-BRAC, $45. What is that? The Boys and Girls Club?
So you can donate some copies of the book to the Boys and Girls Club, a chapter of your choice. So that was kind of, I got inspired by someone who did that. You know, whether they're donating them to the military or to things. It's just a really cool idea, and so I just thought I would do that because it is a Christmas book. So I kind of want to embrace that. The giving, and so I figured I would give people opportunities to give books to their choice of their chapter of choice.
So I get this is saying 2 here, so that's each to 1 and 2 to the Boys and Girls Club. Does that get you one as well, or just donating to the club? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, what was that? There was like a freeze there.
Yeah,
so,
you were breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. No, I was saying it's saying 2 here. So does that mean 2 go to the Boys and Girls Club, and do you end up getting a copy for yourself at the same time, or is this just?
No, it's just it just goes to the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay. Is there shipping on that one or not for people?
Yeah, it's just $5 shipping. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're all in the U.S., so it would be the same as shipping for any. Yeah.
Yeah. And the double bric-a-brac. I take it this is 1 and 2 double of.
Exactly, it's the same thing, but for someone who wants them for themselves or to give away to other people. Because it makes more sense to do it that way. Because if someone wants to buy 2, maybe for their nieces and nephews and stuff. So that was just my idea.
4 have been claimed. I was just going to suggest seeing it down here. You're given the digital 1 and 2 as well. Maybe for the people that do the donate, maybe if they haven't gotten the copy for themselves, maybe you can give them the digital there.
Right. Yeah, no, they're definitely getting the digital, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's, on the donate bric-a-brac one,
Yeah.
Okay. It was, I just thought of it, And hello.
Yeah, you'd be like, you can't read it, but you can donate. Now, yeah, I would definitely give that to them, yeah.
And you also get an exclusive bookmark and Jack Frost print. So
yes.
Yeah, this is definitely good. I know you said the shipping is $5 on these $45 deals.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, not that you can change it now. One's been claimed. But shipping, because of the weight, that shipping might go up a little bit. Just so
but I've kind of factored that into the price of the book, like the $45 price of the book. So it's kind of
okay. I just want to make sure you're not. I know what it's like,
Yeah, for sure.
But what else is there here?
Yeah, it can be expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Create a Christmas character. Ooh.
Yes.
So, what are the limitations on create a Christmas character?
Well, nothing. Here, I'll show you some examples of some of the characters that were created last time. It's a really cool perk because it gives people the...
And I haven't been showing the thing all this time either. Oops.
It's a really cool perk because... people get to kind of have their own little staple character or something, and so in this page you can see. Wait, let's see here. Trying to see on this page. There's some in this little war section because it is a book about war, a war on Planet Christmas. So there's, I think there's like a cat. Someone drew here. They had their cat placed in it. Someone had their dog placed in it, and then there's another page where there's some more of that happening. There's like a little elf creature and someone's dog, and it's really cool. It's a really cool thing that I did, and I really like that people can have their characters involved in it, and even though they don't really have a speaking role or anything, there's a lot of opportunity for that because there's different factions. And anything, it's a fantasy universe, so you can really come up with anything you want that isn't kid-friendly. So
that is kid-friendly, you mean? Not isn't?
That is kid-friendly, right.
Let's see. Let's go back.
Right, okay, what you really needed is an additional trailer where you got somebody who could do a really good Rush Limbaugh impression to describe the war on Christmas that's going on.
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
Chbosky's Revenge 2. Okay, what is...
Yeah, this one is just... you can get a sketch from the artist. The interior artist of the book.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so these are, if you look at the images there, that's from last year. So they're just these sketch cards that he draws, and it's really cool. I shipped them and stuff, and I myself really wanted one, but I had to ship them away. But they're really, really cool, and so this year we're gonna just have that, and people are pretty. If you guys want into like original art, it's just a very cool thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rick, it's pronounced Tchaikovsky.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
the Nutcracker Suite.
Right, exactly. Yes. So it's kind of we used the same name last year, and it's just people wanted the perk back because it's a really cool thing.
He's a great composer.
Okay. Right. Now I noticed something, and I hope you meant to do it. I noticed on the one here, create a Christmas character, you've limited that to 5. But for the Tchaikovsky's Revenge, you have that create a Christmas character on here, but you haven't limited it.
Right.
Did you mean to do that?
You know what? Now that you know the name, now that you've mentioned it, I should probably fix that. I definitely should fix that. But so I will definitely fix that. But you're right. I mean, but people do get to add that. But I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of people get the sketches. Yeah. Last time I got like maybe 10 people, so I don't expect it to be that much.
Yeah. So, well, I just mean, that's like 10 extra characters that you would have to get them to create for you to put in there. And all that.
Right. Yeah, no, but thanks for letting me know that, because I should fix that. I need to fix that. Thankfully, no one continued to buy. But
you've got 4 claimed at this point, so it's not so bad.
It's definitely not bad, but it could get bad. No, I'm kidding. There was like about 10 in this book, so I will need to adjust that perk. But thanks for letting me know. This is people.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, you'll probably have to hide that one and create it anew without that in.
Exactly. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big. I've done that with a lot of perks, and so.
Yeah. I noticed. But I just noticed this little thing. And, hey, it's always nice to say something, because you don't want to be surprised,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you don't when you're doing it, you don't really realize that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're just getting everything here. Oh, 1 sec, you were supposed to get everything.
Right.
But that's still a good, $85. You get both digital both, physical both, bookmark, print, and a sketch. Now, is that do you get to pick the sketch of which character you want from the book? Or
we're going to try to keep it like that. So, like, you can, if you message me, you can just, pick which character. But it does have to be a character from the book. It can't just be like Spider-Man or something. It does have to be from the book.
Yeah, well, it specifies there, BRIC-A-BRAC sketch by Raphael. So that says, can't be Marvel or DC. It's got to be our character.
No, it can't, unfortunately. But, it's. I like to think that a lot of his designs are really, really fun, and I think so
that's definitely good, and with even for the 4 people that got Christmas character, create a Christmas character, that's great for them.
Exactly.
So become an elf. Ooh, $95.
Yeah, and this is again, you can kind of have the likeness of an elf. Basically, this perk was really just made for one person who said I would like to do this, and I was like, well, I'll just make a perk for this. I'm not sure if anyone other than him will get it, but it's there if you want it.
Yeah, which is cool. You just got to give them your face, and nobody will know who they are except for them themselves. Necessarily.
Scene where there's elves, and there's a scene where the 2 characters kind of find these groups of elves who are in hiding, and so it's kind of I figured maybe we could have an opportunity to add some people who back the book there. So that's why I have these perks, is because there's so many background characters that it almost makes sense to maybe make some kind of fun twist with it and get people involved.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. So this artwork, as I said last time, looks awesome. So Raphael Sam?
Yes.
He is an artist. Can you tell us anything about the artist? And also, anybody in the chat, I was just going to say, anybody in the chat, if you have any questions for Ryan here, just let me know, and I will ask him.
Yeah, for sure. Me and Raphael met on ArtStation. It's a little bit like DeviantArt, but it's ArtStation. it's where artists basically post their work and look for work or sell their prints or sell their art books and stuff like that.
It's more centered as like a professional portfolio site.
Exactly. And I think that's where a lot of people should look for collaborators, honestly, on ArtStation, because it's really you can curate basically what you want to find, which is great. But anyway, I found him there, and we've been talking about this project for several years now, and then just last year we were able to fund the first one, and so then this year we're trying to do another one. But he works on books and illustrations, and he also worked on some of his own things that I would like to maybe incorporate. Like, he has a book that he speaks Portuguese, so he has a book that I would love to translate into English and maybe give to backers as a gift for helping me back, like helping us.
Yeah, as a per
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff that would be so cool to show everybody, because I think everyone loves art. I think, because it's just so fun and childlike. It's just so joyous. So it's really I think he just totally fits the tone of the book completely.
Yeah. I went down to, is he in Brazil or somewhere else? I was down in Brazil like a summer and a half ago, 2 summers ago.
Yeah, he is.
So, yeah, I did a whole thing on creating your own Brazil superhero on the channel here. So,
oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was fun. And, yeah, I looked into their superhero stuff when I was going down there, their comic stuff, It's really neat. So, they've got a lot of neat stuff down there. So yeah,
definitely.
It'd be nice to see some of that stuff up here. And who? Tom Burton.
Yeah, Tom Barton. He did the cover art. He did the cover, and he's doing a backup story. He's drawing a backup story for the book. So Raphael's doing the interiors, but Tom is doing a backup story of 5 pages, and so that's really fun. And he is. He's a great artist too, and he actually has a background in doing video game stuff. He did. He worked on some League of Legends comic books and stuff like that, and so that's kind of where I found his work. And then we just started becoming friends after that.
All right, and Milton. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I'll mess it up.
Yeah, Milton is one of my best friends, and he also speaks Portuguese, and he lives in Portugal, actually, and so we've collaborated on a lot of stuff before, and so he designed a lot of the features of the book, and he's going to do some interior pages for the backup story too, and he's just a great friend. So all my friends are kind of on this project with me.
Oh, that's good. I like how his face, he did his face, half cartoon there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Portuguese, man, Portugal and Brazil. You just attracted me to Portuguese, aren't you?
Oh,
exactly.
Howell Comics, that's neat. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, these are some of the fan arts that I was on Drawn and Quartered.
Yeah, fan edition.
Yeah, exactly. And this was just the most recent one. And so yeah, this was the Nutcracker. I forget who did this one. Zach, I think is his name. Zach something.
Zach Bradley.
Possibly, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Zach's go around. Looks close to Bradley's work.
Yeah, I've been on there. We were actually me and if you remember John from last time, we're on there just this past Thursday because he launched a book a couple weeks ago himself called The Buckler.
Cool. Oh yes, The Buckler. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's very cool. The trailer for that is really awesome. It has like the jazz music, and I think you guys had him on recently, right? You just had him on.
Yeah, last week.
That's really cool.
That's why he couldn't get on last week. I remember a couple weeks ago when I was saying when you had the Kickstarter, which there's a question in a minute. I said the last week, I think the 9th, and then I realized, what's that? I got John on that week because just starting his book, the launch of his book. So okay, I need to switch it to this day. But there's a question. What happened with the Kickstarter? I saw you on there for a couple days, and then
Well, again, the goal was just too high, and I consoled with some Kickstarter or some crowdfunding people who I usually use as reference, who kind of guide me and stuff, sort of, and they just said you should probably just can that campaign because we were only at 20% halfway through, and I figured, well, Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
And again, this is the trouble with having a timely book, is that, you have a short span of time to really fund it.
Yeah.
Basically. And so I was like, I could either continue going on with this campaign and probably fail, or I could lower my goal and make some compromises and go on Indiegogo again and just try really, really hard to make it work and make a massive email list.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And so it worked. It works. I worked, thankfully. I don't know really how it did, but it worked, and now we're at 50%, and hopefully going to get.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've got to how many more days? 20 or whatever.
Yeah, so we have 25 more days, I think. 25, and so we're at 55%. So I think we have pretty good odds to make it. But again, it's.
Yeah. Timothy's saying, "Are you still on pre-launch?" No, he's got 24 more days this time. And are you gonna do the expand?
Well, we're gonna do in demand, but I'm not gonna expand it because it is it's a Christmas book, and so I don't think that be building. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you're past Christmas, I don't think people are going to want to successfully fund a Christmas themed book. So I want to make sure that it ends before Christmas.
Yeah.
But again, we'll figure it out by the time we get there. Hopefully we reach our goal. I mean, I push as hard as possible too, and I appreciate you guys having me on your show to help me do that, because I think that this helps get the word out. And
for sure, you've got 24 more days. You're over halfway to your goal, which is really good. You can't. The only thing better would be being fully launched or fully funded.
But that's okay, because it's about now I get to find new fans and go on different shows and podcasts and stuff, and find new fans. So too.
Yeah, hopefully you can get on. Have you been on Gospel of Comics yet again, or do you know who they are? Gospel of Comics.
Sorry.
Yeah, you cut out.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, have you been on Gospel of Comics yet again, or Mandy's show?
I haven't yet, but I could definitely get on there. I'm going to try a lot of different ones. Just in different ones I'm on. I just have a whole list of different ones I'm going to be on, but I'm going to try to get on a lot of shows every single day, or a lot of interviews and podcasts and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to do that, because it's so fun to talk about the book, and I could talk about it for hours.
There's a whole bunch of people out there. It's just half of it's finding them, and then half of it's getting a time slot to get in and thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
If anybody's got any questions in the chat, feel free to ask. I'm trying to think of stuff to ask. Okay, so it's a war. Any ideas whether you can tell what started the war, what the war's about, or have you?
In issue 2, really, that is what it's about, because it has a lot of. We kind of just, if you've read issue 1, you kind of just jump. We could jump right into the war, and so it's sort of like Star Wars, where you kind of just. You are kind of shown who's the good guys and who are the bad guys, but you don't get the details. So issue 2 really goes deep into what kind of started it. I won't give a lot away, but it's just it has to do with basically a war of resources, and the Nutcrackers are being are trying to find a resource on Planet Christmas, which can give them the power to which can power weapons so that they can take over. Basically, and so the Nutcrackers, they didn't always used to be evil, but kind of an outside source and a kind of an intergalactic source. So someone from another planet has kind of given them new weapons and powers so they can take over the planet, which is something they've always wanted to do. So that's kind of what started it, basically. And so, but you'll get a lot of details in issue 2 about how that happened and how that kind of came to be.
Timothy says, "Are they looking for nuts because of that?" You're nuts, Timothy. I don't think they're looking for nuts.
No, they're not. No, they're not evil. Well, they're not evil, but they're just really nasty. And if you've read the first issue, you know they take prisoners, and you know they're just they're not. And then because you usually see nutcrackers as heroes in a Christmas story. For example, the Nutcracker, the ballet, the Nutcracker is the hero. But so I kind of wanted to twist it a little bit and kind of see what it would be like if the Nutcracker was actually the main villain, and see what that kind of did. And so, yeah.
Any thoughts, comments, Metal?
Well, in the chat, they were asking about what Earth is this, and I said it was Planet Christmas. If you want to, for new people, just describe what is Planet Christmas, because that might be a central and confusing part for some people.
Yeah,
too.
Right. It's just a fully realized world that just is Christmas themed. So there's obviously a winter area. There's a beach area. There's a desert. There's all kinds of different. Just like the diversity of climates in our world, it has the same. There's beaches. There's an underwater. Kind of like in Atlantis. Underwater settlement. There is people who live in the sky, people who live in the woods. It's not just when you kind of get the initial Christmas. When you get taken to the North Pole and you see all these other Christmas movies, you go to the North Pole and stuff like that. But this one, you go to so many different locations and climates, and I just wanted to make it a fully realized world, and so that's kind of what it is.
And hey, Rebel, how are you?
Hail, brothers, hail.
We are, just so you know, Rebel, we're talking with Ryan from BRIC-A-BRAC about his book, BRIC-A-BRAC 2, a fantasy Christmas story.
Yeah, no, I was listening in for a minute there, so I thought I'd jump in and say hello and maybe help Rick with his interview.
Yeah. The biggest problem with this one is a lot of questions we asked 2 months ago when we were on here. So.
Yeah.
But that's all good, It's all about trying to help other creators,
well, here's the first thing I noticed is that it's a number 2. Now, I never heard of number 1.
Yeah.
So walk me through what number 1 was all about, and then how we get into number 2.
Yeah. Number 1, like I was saying, it kind of just starts where we kind of just get into the war immediately, and we see our character, our main character, kind of his friends get kidnapped. So first off, he feels the motivation to save them from the Nutcracker's clutches, and then he sees that the only way to really stop the Nutcrackers is to find Father Christmas, he believes, and the other kids who are very naive believe that this is the only way to stop the war, and so he kind of goes off on his own journey to find Father Christmas, who could potentially stop the Nutcrackers with his magic. And so basically the whole story is about him going and doing that and the friends he meets, and by the end of the issue he gets to the North Pole, where Santa, where actually the North Pole has been taken by an evil group of Nutcrackers, and who have kind of taken siege, and Father Christmas has escaped. So, that's kind of where we leave off of issue 1. And so,
listen, I got to tell you that nutcracking doesn't sound pleasant to me.
No, definitely not.
I don't want my nuts cracked or anything like that. But why? Okay, so you did BRIC-A-BRAC 1, right? Now,
yes.
Did you crowdfund that on Indiegogo as well?
Yep, we crowdfunded on Indiegogo, yep.
And how did that do, the first round out?
I mean, we got about 5,000 5,000. 5,500. That was like how much we made.
Decent, brother. That's really good, man. Now,
Yeah.
and so what led? Now, was that your first comic book ever?
Sort of, yeah. It was my first. I have like an anthology webcomic series of short horror stories, comic books that we funded, but that was only like a $2,000 goal. So this was really the first kind of big goal that I had to achieve, and I really had to work hard to get the word out.
Now, I don't know what Rick's got on camera, but I mean, I'm seeing you through the Meet Me app, and you look like, you're a young dude. You know what I'm saying? You're a young, hungry guy here, man, getting into comics. What made you decide you wanted to write comics, and why A Christmas Story?
Well, I've always wanted to. I've always loved Christmas, and so that was really the deep inspiration. And then the book is heavily inspired by some Rankin and Bass movies, maybe Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or The Year Without a Santa Claus. And so I've loved those movies, and I've always wanted to contribute in some way to that kind of timeless narrative. I feel that is just so, you don't see movies like those anymore because they're so pure of heart. And I wanted to make a story where there's that pureness in heart. And I feel like this is something, even though there's a war going on and there's a lot of complicated stuff, you can still have those great Christmas moments where kids are just being kids, and there's just all these great fantasy characters who embody this Christmas planet, which is so cool to see, and that was really the main inspiration, was those movies, and I kind of wanted to contribute in my own way, basically.
So I would say it's safe to assume that this book is for all ages, right?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, beautiful, man. And how big is the book? How many pages is number 1 and number 2?
So this is 25. The next one is going to be 25 as well. Yeah.
Now, are you the writer, the artist, both?
Yeah, creator, and I'm not the artist. So my artist is Raphael Sam is his name, and he's the interior artist. But I also have a backup story done by some other artists too. So
shout them out, man. Who's all involved?
One's name is Tom Barton, and so he did the covers. And my other friend is named Milton, and he is. If you've seen the book, it's on Indiegogo right now. Raptor. I don't know if you've seen it or anything, but maybe you've seen the art around Twitter or something. But he actually created that character, and so he's my age, and he is a really great illustrator, and so we're great friends.
So to find the main illustrator for the main story, how did you go about searching out your artists? I get asked all the time, hey LP, how did you find your artist? Where do I go for art? How do I figure all this out? What would you tell someone just walking into this, and how did you find your artist?
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I would say, go on ArtStation, which was what I was kind of saying before. ArtStation is where all the really great artists are. There's tiers that are specific for comic books that you can find, really great artists there. And I think I have a good eye for kind of what I want in a certain story, someone who would be good for a certain story, and so that's kind of what helped me develop this story, which has a very specific look for it. I don't think a lot of our illustrators could achieve that look. It has a very specific look we're going for, an animated look, and so it's hard to find artists like that. And so I was so lucky to find Raphael there 2 years ago, and so we kind of started the conversation about how we would go about the story. And so here we are, 2 years later, with the issue 2, hopefully going to successfully fund.
I think you're going to be just fine, brother.
Yeah.
My next question is, issue 1, issue 2, is there an issue 3, or does it end in issue 2, or?
Yeah, so there is an issue 3. Yeah, there is an issue 3. Mm-hmm.
So is it a mini series, or is this something you plan to keep on going? Because how long can you tell a Christmas story for? You know what I mean?
Right. It's a mini series, but you never know. There could be another sequel or something. It's kind of like the world of Oz. Like it's kind of like you can return to it and see kind of how it's changed, and that's kind of more what I'm going for. It's kind of like a Oz kind of world that kind of all these different creatures inhabit, and you could go back with another character or see it from another person's perspective and get a whole nother view. So that's kind of maybe if there were to be a sequel, that would be what it would be.
Okay. Or maybe you got any other? Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Rick.
I was going to say, or you could create a Planet Easter and have the war between Planet Easter and Planet Christmas.
Yes. That could happen potentially.
Or all these
Bunny's got to
other.
be a badass though. The Easter Bunny's got to be like freaking Lobo or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or,
He just like shows up on his hog and screw you, Father Christmas. You know, like
That'd be so cool.
Or all these different holiday planets. That it's the War of the Holidays.
I don't have plans for developing other holiday planets right now. I think I would kind of just focus on Planet Christmas because I feel like so many other stories have done that, like Rise of the Guardians or the Nightmare Before Christmas. I honestly just would like to see a fully fleshed out Christmas world. Like no one has really ever done that before, and so
are you a Christmas fanatic in like the way Mick Foley is like a Christmas fanatic?
I don't know about that. No, probably not.
Okay, like Christmas to him is like a goddamn religion. You know what I mean? Like it's like decorations and Santa Claus for like 6 months straight, and
I've heard about this guy. He's the wrestler, right?
Right, man, Mankind, Cactus Jack,
Mick Foley, okay.
Mick Foley. I've never seen like a Christmas book before, like done in this sense, and crowdfund it. That's a very interesting concept. Have you thought about taking the next leap and maybe bringing this over to the Kickstarter audience as well? Because, hey, I think the audience is there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I have tried Kickstarter, and we didn't succeed. I was just talking to them. We've tried to fund this book several times, and it's hard to fund outside of the Christmas season, which is what I realized this year. It really is. But we tried on Kickstarter, and, I think that, one great thing about Kickstarter is it has a bigger audience than Indiegogo. I mean, it's just irrefutable. It has a larger group of people who are backing. But that doesn't mean that, you're going to have more faith, like you're going to have returning backers as much. It's probably not going to happen. I think maybe Indiegogo might be more. I don't know what the statistic is on that, but in my experience, I've always had more returning backers on Indiegogo. But let me see here. Yeah, it's just, definitely. I'll go wherever I can to,
Yeah, man. Now, how many days are left on this, you said?
So 25.
So you got a good chunk. It's basically going to take you into Christmas. Listen, I run a show. I heard you saying you're looking to get on podcasts and stuff. I do Rebel Comics and Gaming. Shoot me a message through Twitter or through Rick or something, and whenever you're available, we'll bring you on. We'll pump this out a little bit.
For sure, man. That would be awesome. What's your Twitter?
Niobe Comic. So that's spelled NYOBI and then comics, COMIK.
Okay, I think I follow you. Awesome. All right, then.
Beautiful, brother. I'm going to hand the microphone back to Rick.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
No, bro, I'm still going to hang out for I'm just doing some bagging and boarding and stuff. I just didn't want to completely hijack your interview, but, I was listening to him, I'm like, man, I want to ask this guy some questions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Marsupio saying, it's the same audience. I agree that there's a bigger audience on Kickstarter. It's just getting them to notice you. And then
no, that's the problem. Because I think that Indiegogo gives you more tools. It gives you more tools to, extend your book. Or, I think, and also a really cool thing it does is, I was, on the day I launched, I was at the top. And that would be the same for a lot of other people who launch and they get like 1,000 in a day. Like my goal is only 5,000. Okay, obviously I can't compare to people who have made 1 million or this or that. But Indiegogo does this really cool thing where it traces, it looks at your goal and then it looks at what you made, and that's how you go up in the trending. And that's what makes Indiegogo so cool, because Kickstarter really, if the editors don't like your book or something, they can really choose how visible it is. It's just the truth. I mean, because you can have a project we love, or, they used to have genres, which was kind of cool, but it's just a little bit more complicated. Not that it's a bad platform. They're both great platforms, but it's just a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, it's like I said, just getting noticed.
Well, I think depending on what sort of book it is and who your audience is, and where you're actually promoting your book makes a huge difference, right? Like, so for me, for example, I think Kickstarter's been more friendlier to me than Indiegogo. I've succeeded on both, But my last Kickstarter just killed it, right? Like it was the best one we ever done. Now, with that being said, I advertised that Kickstarter a lot on Facebook, a little bit on Twitter. When I ran my Indiegogo, I was heavy on the Twitter. You know what I mean? I find there are different fans, and and politically, depending on which way you lean, may depend on which platform you're sort of advertising on. And I don't think anyone should buy comic books based on ideology or politics, but sometimes they do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
It's always been and always will be primarily known as sort of like the Comicsgate platform. Yeah. And people, and I don't know if you're Comicsgate or not.
I'm not. No.
But I'll say this,
about it. Yeah.
Right. But I'll say this: when people see a project on Indiegogo, that's one of the first things they're going to wonder is if that's a Comicsgate project, because that's where they go. I rarely see, if any, have ever seen a CG project on Kickstarter. So the audiences are vastly different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I think the Kickstarter audience, if you were to go back and give that another try, would totally eat up a Christmas book. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. I mean, it's because I did have the book on there, but we just were not doing anything. We weren't making any progress, so it was just, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe next Christmas I'll try to. I think hopefully I'll fund the book in October, and then maybe go on Kickstarter in November. I don't know. We'll see. It could be, but then also they're trying to stop that whole cross. Platforming, aren't they?
Yeah, good luck. Good luck is what I have to say to that. Listen, what I would do is like you talked about like not wanting to run past Christmas with your in demand, right? Because you're like, who's going to buy a book after Christmas?
No,
right?
I'll keep it in the in demand, but not. We're not going to extend it over Christmas. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, unless I need like a couple more days, but I'm not going to.
I think the trick would be like to start the campaigns earlier, right? And then have the book delivered by Christmas. Like, hey, guarantee, like you're going to have this book in your hands by Christmas. Yeah.
And that's what we tried to do with this one, but again, we kept failing because I think our goal was too high, and so that was really the main problem. Because I was on talking to these guys in August, I think.
September.
September, and I failed and.
Yeah,
it's just. And my goal was to get the books in people's hands by then, but you can never always. Yeah. But hopefully, this next time, I think I've learned a lot of things. Like email list is important. Number one, possibly the most important, and then just advertising as much as possible. So it's been a learning experience for sure.
Yeah.
Was it only September? It felt so much longer than that.
I know. I think it was August.
I went to find all the stuff from before so I could just copy and paste.
Oh, okay.
It feels like it was August.
But it was September. Like I said, I went and copied your, went back, found it. Okay, it was September. I copied and pasted all your Twitter and all that stuff from that date. The only thing I had to change was the Indiegogo thing. So different campaign. Okay, we need to change that, and then I can use the same title, all that.
I see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, September 14th. Okay, that was not that long ago, but it seems like it was forever ago.
Yeah, well, September 14th, 2 months, pretty much almost to the day. It's so little ago, and like you said, so long ago, and you tried to do a Kickstarter in between then. I thought you were like 2 weeks into the Kickstarter or less.
I was.
And I thought you were like almost half funded too.
No, we weren't. We were only at like 20%, like halfway through. So I kind of figured, I don't see this happening,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Marsupial said he disagrees. When it comes to comics, there's just one audience. We generally dislike Kickstarter for their comic.
No, I'm going to disagree with him. It's completely two different audiences. There are people that I know that will never go to Indiegogo, period. End of story. And he's like, we won't go to Kickstarter because of what they did to your boy Zach or whoever. Well, that's the choice you make. You're throwing away money if you don't do it. and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
I say run on both platforms, succeed on both platforms. The audience is different. Look, I deal with them.
Yeah,
I know. I hear talks on both sides, brothers. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 6 years now.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to bring up Lady Death. Lady Death does fabulous over on Kickstarter, but I believe if Lady Death came over to Indiegogo, it might just get funded. If that, it's hard to say.
That's interesting. Yeah, you're totally right, though, because I noticed that, too. Because you'd think that, Brian Pulido is kind of like the big, like when it comes to... And it makes me also wonder if Sean Gordon Murphy, if he went on Kickstarter, or if, what would happen? Like, would his book get more money than it did? Because I think that could have gotten way more. I mean, this is one of the best artists in the industry right now. Like, how did he not get $500,000? I mean, he's just an excellent artist.
Yeah. And with that said, we respect everybody's right to, either go there or not go there, or, fund or whatever, buy from either site. Everybody has a choice, and hey.
Exactly.
Also, he said, if you respect your audience and deliver an excellent product, he says, your hashtags comic state. Well,
incorrect.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Brian Pulido's not Comicsgate. He delivers an excellent product.
Yeah.
He cares about his customers.
Yeah.
I think I deliver a great product. I care about my customers, but I don't wear that hashtag.
Yeah.
I never will either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Well, there's the thing. Somebody might want to consider you Comicsgate. It doesn't mean you are. And you probably, usually what you say you are should be what people consider you, But... that I don't really want to get. I don't. Go ahead, Meadow.
You're talking about the different audiences. You even get that within the same places because physical and digital readers are two different audiences.
True.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of divides into different audiences.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be throwing money away.
But with all that said, I don't want to get too much into the whole. I'm not sure whether to call it political or whatever on this because we're here to have a good time and try and sell BRIC-A-BRAC #2. Because, this guy's, I believe, a good writer. He's got some good artists. He's got a good story, and it deserves to be seen and bought and read by anybody who wants to.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you letting me talk about it and everything.
Yeah. What else? I'm not sure whether you want to go or whether you want to try and figure out what to talk about.
I mean, it has been an hour, but I don't want to keep you guys too long.
Normally I go for 2 hours, or if you just want to hang out and talk about whatever, too. It's up to you.
For sure. I'll stay as long as I can, but you don't have. I don't want you to feel compelled to have to talk more about my project. You can go. But I appreciate you guys.
You're on here. You're the main focus, but fortunately or unfortunately, you were on like 2 months ago. So unfortunately, we exhausted a lot of questions.
You also started early just for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well. It's just me. Instead of going from 10 to 12, I go from 9 to 11. So.
Right.
Yeah. What's your favorite comic book character?
Mine? I don't know. I would say I like maybe Etrigan the Demon or something like that. I like that kind of character, and at least in the DC universe. I think that's a great. A lot of the Jack Kirby characters are some of my favorite characters.
I'm trying to think. Favorite comic story, if you have one.
I'm not sure. Maybe. I have to think about that one. It's hard to. I don't think I have a favorite.
Okay. I guess what got you into comics?
I was around the New 52 era. It was a really good time to kind of get into comic books, and it was really easy to pick up some of the books, even though some of them were debatably good or bad. I still think that there's some good quality books in there, like Batman and Robin, or Animal Man was really good, and there were some other good ones in that batch too. Wonder Woman was pretty good in the New 52, and so it helped me kind of develop some sort of fandom, and then I kind of went back and forth and through that kind of the DC timeline, and so I've always been a really big DC fan because I think that their stories, even though it's complicated and they always reboot and stuff like that, I think that their characters. I like how they're kind of icons. Like, they're kind of bigger than Marvel. They're not like on the street. I don't think that's really a superhero in my eyes. I like to see characters who are kind of icons and greater than who I could be because they're more virtuous or whatever. I don't know. I just think that I like DC more in that way.
Yeah. I think Marsupial said the correct answer is the Canadian Shield. For your favorite superhero, that's my one of my main characters. What got you into being a writer and then wanting, I guess, to write comic books?
Yeah, I would say, again, probably comic books got me into being a writer because I just saw a lot of great stories. Of Grant Morrison, I think, is a inspiration to me. I think that I love a lot of his books and stuff like that, and I think that I just saw Scott Snyder or Greg Rucka or these really great writers who just so happened to write in comic books and really showed me the potential of that medium. Those are the people who inspired me to kind of continue writing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and kind of want to make my own.
Well, that's cool. Just adjusting my camera here. Trying to think. We usually talk about just whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't have to. I don't want you to feel ask me anymore.
Okay. Okay. Have you been watching The Mandalorian?
I have not. I haven't.
Okay.
Boo.
You guys can talk about it though. I'll listen.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what is your favorite Rankin Bass film, and why is it A Year Without a Santa Claus?
My favorite Rankin Bass film might be Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Actually, that's a good one too.
Because it's like so weird, and it has a lot of good songs, and
it's all over the place.
It's all over the place, and it's like perfect. And in some way, I think it's like the story is literally on crack. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's such a good character too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like that movie. I think might be my favorite Rankin Bass film. But I really love the Little Drummer Boy, even though it's kind of weird, or The Year Without a Santa Claus. That's great music. And also Santa Claus Is Coming to Town is probably my second favorite. And then for Frosty, of course, Frosty, and Rudolph's. What is it? Frosty and Rudolph's Christmas in July. That's a great one too. I mean, there's just so many good ones, so you can't really go wrong.
Gothic.
Yeah, I probably should have noticed or guessed the Shiny New Year too, since everything's like a different themed place. It kind of fits in line with the whole story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gothic.
No, those movies are great, and I wish there was like a big collection of all of them. Some kind of steelbook collection of all those great movies. There should be. I would buy it. I would definitely buy it.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I got the 40th or 35th anniversary for Rudolph and for Frosty.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Let's see. Gothic Art is here, and he says, "Hail, fellas," and he says, "You're missing out, man. What are we missing out on?" Marsupial says, "Which one is with the heat miser?"
That's The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Rudolph is just a little too simple. I like Rudolph, but it is just a little too simple for me. It's a great story, but it's just I I mean, I think it's really cute. I think the theme of it's really cool, like Rudolph not being accepted. But I don't know. I think there's better ones. I honestly think like the origin of Santa is way cooler. I think.
Oh yeah.
But still, I think Rudolph's a classic for sure.
Cornelius.
Yes, Yukon Cornelius is amazing, and Bumble is amazing, and Bumble's redemptive story is very amazing.
Gothic Dark says Mandalorian. That's what he meant by "you're missing out, man." And then Marsupial says, "Okay, then that's my favorite one too, the one with the heat miser."
I was just singing that song too because my friend was complaining. It was cooling down and then it got too hot, so I started singing the Heat Miser song. He's like, "I hate you."
Just trying to. What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, you guys can talk about anything. I appreciate you guys having me on, but I can, I'll just sit and listen, and for as long as I can, and go ahead and talk about what I'm.
Yeah,
What I'm doing right now is making up stretch goal packages.
Yeah,
And so I'll ask you, what are some of your stretch goals? Are there any in your campaign?
Honestly, I just want to hit our goal first before I think about that. But I would like to maybe add a short backup story, and then maybe ornaments or something like that. If we could potentially reach that a stretch goal, that would be really cool.
Ornaments would be interesting considering it's the whole Christmas
Right.
vibe, right?
Exactly. So it would be cool.
Rick?
yeah, it would definitely be good having Christmas ornaments.
Definitely.
When do you put up your tree, Rick?
Unfortunately, for the last few years, we haven't. Actually, we need to get.
Okay.
We have to get a new tree. We moved into an apartment here, me and my mom, a few years ago, and in our moving, we had to. I think we threw out our tree.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get a new one. And Marsupial.
You live in Canada. Just grab your axe, get your lumberjack gear on,
Well,
go
that's
out.
just it, man. Like you don't get a real tree.
Yeah, just go chop it down yourself.
Well, the unfortunate thing is in apartment buildings they don't let you do that. Marsupial says, "You're assuming they have something more interesting to talk about." Laugh out loud.
I got nothing interesting to talk about, Rick.
Yeah, this is just the show right here.
Yeah.
I did though install that Weeb game you were playing the other day.
Oh, you installed Phantasy Star 2 online?
That's the one, brother.
Yeah, we do some on Friday nights. We do gaming here.
I'm gonna make my cute anime chick with pigtails tonight, man. What do you think?
Cool.
Yeah. We play on ship number 3, just so you know.
Shit number 3. All right,
Yes.
I'll be on shit number 3.
Not shit number 3. Ship.
Ship.
Oh no, I heard them right the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually a little disappointed in your campaign that you didn't have the picture of the planet up again.
Okay.
Because one of the things that really drew me in the first place is how the planet looks, and then that was your answer that the objects on the planet are to scale. So
Right.
There's like a candy cane and like ornaments and stuff hanging from the planet, and just like
Yeah.
that fascinated me because I could only imagine walking up to that.
Yeah. Well, I will put that up just for you because you're right. It's a good image because it kind of like. Yeah, it's hard to visualize what a planet Christmas could look like potentially. So,
I picture green oceans with white landscape.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of it's hard to. Maybe I should put that image up because it does. I think it helps people kind of see.
It really sells.
Yeah. Well,
Santa Claus will sit in the North Pole running his empire. An iron fist.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, I think you say you've got a Frosty type character in there. I think you need to create a sand version of Frosty for the warmer climates. Dusty, Dusty or Sandy.
Unrelated but related, guys. Did you know at 12 o'clock Pacific time, which would be like 3 a.m. Eastern. It will be November 17th, which is the anniversary of the Star Wars Christmas holiday special. And so Disney Plus is putting out a brand new holiday special tonight at that time.
Oh my God!
Is it Lego?
It is Lego, brother. Yeah, but I'm still gonna watch it. I'm staying up. I'm gonna watch it.
Can it?
And then I'm gonna review it. But yeah, so that will be at midnight Pacific time. So it's about 3 a.m. Eastern time is when Disney drops their new stuff.
The holiday special is just so weird. The initial one is just so weird. Isn't it kind of like a entertainment show? It's like they just have different singers on. It has nothing to do with Star Wars, like at all, really.
Other than the fact
the Lego special? No. It's like Ray goes back in time, ends up in Luke's era, and a whole bunch of shit goes down. That's what it's about.
Oh no, I mean the original one.
The original one was all about. Well, I mean, the best thing about the original one was the Boba Fett cartoon, right?
Right.
You know, but other than that, we got fucking B. Arthur from the Golden Girls, and we got we got Wookiees. Lots of Wookiees celebrating Life Day.
Just so weird.
You watching?
We got Wookiees wanting to make some Wookiee.
Some Nookie for the Wookiee. Did it all for the Nookie, right?
So odd, like such an odd choice. The holiday special. I've never seen it completely, but from what I've seen, it's like has nothing to do with Star Wars, really. So
okay, it's a hard watch, man. Like fucking hard watch, you know.
It's
baffling.
Like a drinking challenge almost.
Gothic says, "Who's the Caesar character in your book?"
So he's the kind of like I was talking about, you know, how the Nutcrackers, they're given technology by an outsider. He's an outsider from a different planet. So that's him. He kind of comes to their planet and he gives the Nutcrackers more advanced weapons so they can take over the planet. And they're kind of working together. And so that's kind of how the Nutcrackers get to be so powerful, because they used to just have wooden swords and just, ships and stuff like that. But now they have, these really super weapons that were given to them. And so...
the ball breakers.
Yes. Well, I mean, no, but, that's sort of the idea, is that they're just able to go about, Planet Christmas and basically destroy everything in their path.
Gothic says they were all high when they made that holiday special.
Yeah, a couple hits of acid, man, went to town, Is Rudolph in the book?
Is Rudolph in the book? No. There's only two reindeer. There's only two reindeer in it. There's Donner and Blitzen, and they're like 1,000-year-old reindeer. And so this is like an image of Father Christmas in them, and they're just like 1,000-year-old reindeer.
Higher, brother. Yeah, so we can get the whole thing in the can. Yeah.
That would be the two here. And it's just cool that they're just 1,000-year-old reindeer, and they're kind of like a very evolved Pokemon, is kind of what I think of them as. Like the top, like the highest evolution of a Pokemon.
They're the top tier Pokemon.
And so I kind of wanted it to be like that, so...
No, I like that, because when Odin originally became Father Christmas, he only had two animals pulling his sled. He didn't have
that.
Yeah.
Okay, Timothy said a little earlier, and I think this is to you. He says your comic is a little sci-fi, and mine is a little sci-fi fantasy, and he thinks you should do a crossover sometime with his book. This is the Melvin.
What is his book?
It's the Melvin #1. It's right now. It's pre-launch on Indiegogo. When does this end? This ends in 25 days?
Yeah, 25 days.
Or saying 24 days left here now, so.
Okay, 24.
I don't know if Rick can see, but I'm showing him the stretch goals. These are the all green postcards, brother.
Well, here, give me a sec. Need to switch
We're getting shit done.
Horrible.
Rick don't know how to use his technology.
There.
This isn't.
Yeah, she's showing up back.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, those are Paul Green postcards. Then these are the stack here. I got like 3 stacks. These are the Avani trading cards. That was like on the stretch goals.
Cool.
So that's the second set. Got Vitals there in the back. And then you guys know him, you love him, Shinobi Raccoon, who was doing all the Niobe fan art. Well, we took one of his drawings and we made it into a print. So everyone's getting one of these.
Oh, cool.
And then we got buttons thrown in there later. So what I'm doing actually right now as we talk is I'm making these stretch goal packages. So everything that I do fits in a comic book bag and board, and then thus can fit into a Gemini mailer, which makes shipping really easy, right? Because if you have to ship out like an 11 by 17 print or something, which is bigger than everything else that's going in the package, then you have to accommodate for that print with bigger packaging, which is a pain in the butt. So a little trick I learned from Lady Death is that everything should be able to fit into your Gemini mailer, unless if it's like a bigger tier.
Yeah. That's cool.
So anyone that's back Niobe, man, we're getting the stuff done.
Have you got the comics in yet, or?
No, because that's still actually in development. Like pages are being lettered as we speak, and stuff is still being worked on. But we'll have everything by January.
Yeah, well, that's good.
We promised delivery by February. I don't think we're going to be early, but I don't think we're going to be late. You know what I mean?
Well, that's always good.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, the way I work is I always, whatever I think it's going to take, I always add on 2 more months. And then it usually ends up being the case, But I can show you a sneak peek here in a minute.
Uh-huh.
If you want to see one of the new pages.
Okay, how do we unpin it so it'll go to who's ever talking? Gothic is saying nice. I think that's to Larry.
I got like 300 of these to do.
Put it back on Ryan.
So the more I do now, the less I got to do when the books actually arrive. You know what I mean? I'll have all the choppy packages made up, and they'll be ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the big joy of doing it. All that work afterwards. There's work before, and then there's work afterwards.
Dude, it's not. Look, anyone that thinks that doing this is, especially in the writing, all I got to do is write it. Fucking everyone else will take care of all the rest of it. You still got to promote it. You still got to mail it. You still got to chase people around for shit. Like you still got to pay for it.
Yeah, especially when you're the main guy on the campaign.
Yeah, when your name is the top one, then you're responsible for it all.
Yeah. It's not like depending, you can possibly call some people over, do stuff. I did it pretty much all myself. My mom wrote some names on envelopes. That's about it.
Well, I learned from that mistake. For Birthright 1, I handwritten everyone's addresses on Gemini mailers, right? And some of them I had fucked up, and I had to throw out the mailer, or like the fucking post office, like we can't fucking read that, or whatever. So I got smart and started making labels, Rick.
Yeah, I think I only messed up on one address sending it out. One came back because they were no longer at that address. Did the third one come back or not? I forget. I only had like maybe 3 come back at most. One because I
never had anything come back, but I've had things get lost that I had to replace, which really sucks. So always have a few extra copies on hand for that one.
Yeah. Oh, it was 3 because 1 to Fly Flocks, 1 to Humphrey Bear, and then Marsupial moved, so I wasn't able to get it it came back because it was not going to him. Wrong address. So, but that's actually nice that the people that live there sent it back and just didn't keep it on me.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes someone will be a little dishonest. Not much really you can do about that. I mean, they're your customers. You pretty much got to take them at their word,
Well, no, I don't mean the customer. I mean, like, if it's sent to the wrong address, right? And honestly, sent to the wrong address, the person that's living there, they don't know what's in the package. Maybe they opened it up and see, and, oh, it's a comic book. I'll keep that for myself. Instead of, returning it to the rightful to the person.
Well, I guess the benefit of that is there's an extra set of eyeballs on your product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
May not been intended. It might cost you out of pocket, but hey, someone out there is enjoying it.
Yeah. Timothy says he will get the digital BRIC-A-BRAC.
Thank you, Timothy. Thank you.
How much is it? Like, I didn't see Rick go over the tiers, but I came in late. Maybe he did go over it all. What are...
the digital
is... looking at here.
You can get number 2 by itself for $8, or you can get...
digital, yeah.
Yeah. Or you can get 1 and 2 of the digital for $15.
Physical.
Physical...
But you also... Well, but you also get the an art print and a bookmark.
Yeah. For number 2, just number 2 itself, you get the digital and number 2 itself. That's $12 US. And do you know how much your Canadian shipping is offhand?
I think it's Canadian shipping.
I didn't get that.
That's actually very doable.
And then
that's the cheapest shipping I've seen in Canada yet, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, these are small books. They are smaller books. So, I mean, I luckily I was able to have another campaign with them, so I know kind of how much they weigh and stuff. So,
but and that's advice, man. For people that are getting into this, know what it's going to cost to mail out your packages before you start listing shipping. I've seen so many creators guesstimate shipping, and they usually underball it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think international is going to get you in trouble anyway. It's going to happen, but it's just not. Just make sure to. Right, exactly.
Yeah, I underballed it a little by just like about $100 approximately. But then again, I had a couple bigger packages than I was intending on too. So. I had to, like some people, we were giving away some artwork from John from the Buckler ash can. So that upgraded some people's packages to make them a little bigger, which thus ended up costing a little bit extra to ship and all that. So, $5 here or here or there suddenly adds up, But yeah, $24 for 1 and 2 physical plus the digitals, a bookmark, and a print. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, hopefully I will. There's so much I want to back at the moment. I want to back the Buckler. I want to back Titan. I want to back this.
Titan looks so good. I love that book.
And I need to get number 1, so I need
that book looks so awesome.
Yeah. There any out of all the campaigns that you've seen, what is the book that you want to get the most right now? That you might not be able to. Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many good-looking books. I think I think Titan maybe. It's just so cool looking. I love the mouse, and I don't really know who the person who created it is, but Gary Shipman.
Yeah, Gary Shipman. He's awesome. He's been on here a few times.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, he's just great, and I like. I don't know the guy really who made it, but I've seen the Monster MD thing. I think that looks awesome. And then the Shinobi Sasquatch book looks great.
Yeah. And
then there's some Kickstarter books that I think are really awesome too. What was one that I just saw? I think Fairy Quest Fairy Quest. I always like that. That book was on Kickstarter recently.
I got the first one of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he used to have Humberto Ramos, but I don't think he's working on it anymore. But that was cool.
Timothy says
I think those were the books I would have had.
Yeah, Timothy's saying it might be next week or the week after, but he's getting it.
Oh, thank you so much,
that's
Timothy.
good.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about Indiegogo is they'll charge you right away.
I like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword depending on which way you go with it, right? Kickstarter, will let you pledge now, but you pay later when the campaign funds. But the problem with that is that sometimes people forget to have the money in the account or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it becomes what's called a failed pledge, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, and sometimes, that definitely happens.
Yeah, that happens.
But the benefit is, like, if I don't have $20 on me right now, but I want to back your book, and I know I'll have $20 later, then I can go ahead and make the pledge regardless. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I know for me, that's I backed a book on Kickstarter, and that's what happened. It's like, crud, I thought I had the money on, and then I tried to get it on in time. My pay-as-you-go credit card, and it's like, oops, didn't get it on in time. But then I contacted the guy and said, hey, I missed out. If I just PayPal you this money, can I get it?
Yeah,
definitely
most
you can do that.
Open to that, right? I mean, I'm open to that. Some people want my book; they don't have a credit card. They're like, can I just PayPal you? Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, you can.
Definitely.
Especially if they're over their goal or whatever, already,
Yeah, and they're going to make it, yeah.
I mean, clearly it helps that they're backing you, but I mean, there's just, some people just don't have credit cards. Like, I don't have a credit card. I got it like a debit card that I use as a credit card, basically. And it works for most things, and PayPal the rest, It'd be great if these crowdfunding options did have a PayPal option.
Yeah, because people mention that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that'd be awesome if they had a PayPal option. But I mean, if they did, they would have to charge you right away. They couldn't wait to come to your PayPal because that most likely will fuck up.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna head out, but I so appreciate you guys having me on again.
No,
it means a lot.
No problem. Keep us updated what happens. So hopefully we'll remember to look in on it over the next few weeks and see how it's going.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's nice talking again.
Thank you guys so much.
And you got Larry's info to get onto his show.
Yeah, I'll message him.
Yeah, brother. I usually do it on Sunday nights. So if you're around,
I'm around Sunday nights. Yeah, I can do that.
All right, we'll get in touch.
Definitely. See you around, guys.
Okay, see you around.
Right,
have a great night, Ryan.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, that's what I found, Rick, with my new schedule. I had to figure out what day was like. I just need a solid day of the week that I'm just going to do my show because I've been very sporadic. It's going to be Sunday nights. That's what I've decided.
Well, I think Marsupio just backed. He says he's back for 89.
There you go.
So Ryan, I'm not sure whether you're still listening. You got a backer.
That's what it's all about, man. You build it one backer at a time.
So let's see. What's that put him up to? 2,800.
So let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys a question because I got you and Metal both here. I play Phantasy Star 2 online. Do I have to again fucking rank to something to be able to fucking play with you guys, or
no? You don't have. There are more things that open up the higher level you get, but as soon as you're done with the tutorial, you can start.
Like I could follow you guys around like a kid following around the older brother, like, hey, help me. You guys go clear shit out, and I'll go collect all the loot.
Well, I'll be about as simple as you are.
Why, you just started?
Yeah, I'm up to level 20, but his character's like level 60.
Of course it is.
You gotta love us getting you into all the Wii games. You might not want to tune in next Friday.
What one's going down then?
We're playing Blood and Soul.
See, I don't know
The
that one
Blade
either.
and Soul.
Blade and Soul. And next week we're having on Gothic Arc. He's got a campaign he just launched. I forget what it's called offhand.
Yeah. I don't know. Larry froze up for me in the middle of what I was saying. But what I was saying is that more open up the more you play, but there are stuff you can do as soon as you're done with the tutorial with other people. Yeah. Typically, what you do if you're playing with higher level people is you become the party leader, and they just kind of follow you around and do what you're going to do.
Yeah. Kill all my shit for me, and I collect all the loot. Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm down for that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Gothic Arc on next week, promoting his new campaign, Blue Phoenix. So I don't know much about that yet. Maybe we'll do.
Jean Grey with blue hair. Next.
Let's see. Blue Phoenix. Probably spelled.
I'm going to look at this. I'm not familiar with this. I'll definitely have to read up on it before we do that show.
Yeah, do your homework, boys.
I usually do.
I usually don't.
Shocking.
Typically, the way this goes is I'll let Rick stumble around with his usual questions for the first 20 minutes to half an hour before coming in, trying to make the conversation a little bit more dynamic.
Coming in for the save.
But yeah, here's a quick look.
I can't find with obvious that because that's why everybody shows up.
Yeah, here it is so far.
I'm almost done.
I like the look of the character. I'm just wondering if he's...
Yeah, this is some old school style art. The color is definitely...
Okay, so...
Kind of reminds me of Nova. The effects are pretty good.
Well, I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Okay, take over. What are we going to do?
You're going to tell me everything I need to know in 5 minutes or less about Phantasy Star Online 2.
Okay, everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Oh, man, I don't think I can. There's too much.
Well, let's start off with character creation.
Okay, character creation can actually take a while because they give you a lot of options. Okay. But basically where it comes down to is there are, I want to say, 4 or 5 playable races, and that's what you pick first.
How's the cutest girls?
All the girls look pretty much the same.
Okay.
So I'm...
Features that are...
I'm sorry.
Now, do I have to pick a certain race to get the Niobe pigtails, or is that available to everything?
No. The hairs are available to all the races. You could just pick the human, which would the one that will look the most human. It won't vary on anything else other than I think certain races can be larger or smaller than others. So humans can be median size. And then all of the haircuts, fashion, and stuff like that will be available. The only one who has limitations is there's a robot race. Okay. And they can't use as much of the armor and fashion and stuff as everybody else can. That's the only one with limits. So if you go with a human, you can pretty much make the character however you want. If you want to make Niobe, it'd be easy to do it that way.
So
Rick's showing us the balls on Canadian Shield.
Yeah. This came in the mail today.
You're fucking excited for that, man. I mean, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, George did you a good fucking job there, brother.
Yeah. I want Canadian Shield to be a game piece. Yeah.
Well, that size, he can be a great boss.
We do have the slightly smaller one.
Oh, there's two. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
even if you put that one, it's enough to be a boss.
So, what is the smaller one? Something you made available to people, or is that just a prototype?
Well, yeah, well, it was a prototype, and it was what people were supposed to get on my campaign. But George, one person bought it, and George was nice enough to give me one. So, this is actually, I'm going to be making this available on my website, but unfortunately, it's going to cost a way big penny. I doubt anybody's going to be getting it, but hey, worst thing, like I've said to people,
I'm looking at that stuff myself, man. It's not cheap. You know, if you're Ethan Van Sciver or Lady Death, yeah, you can probably get away with that sort of shit and, make it profitable. But when you're like a struggling, ground level creator just trying to get a book out, trying to sell $300 statues on an indie character might be a rough sell for something.
Yeah. Yeah, and technically this size is actually a lot more than 300 for George's pricing.
Yeah, and that's just to buy it, let alone like you selling it and having to make a profit off it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, even with like this is this size, and I know people are going to gasp when I say this. I'm going to be putting it up on my website, and this is with all the 3 colors. And like I said, I doubt anybody's going to be rushing to buy it. It's going to be $1,000, but US. But the thing is, on can't 1,000 US.
Damn.
That because it takes so long to print and stuff like that. George's time and all that. I'm going to be making some money off that. A little bit of money.
I hope so.
I'm not paying. The grand isn't what I'm paying him. I'm paying him a little bit less. So. But, I got to make some money, and, that's going to include shipping, too, so.
I would hope so, brother.
The grand plus tax plus a tip.
But, yeah, so. But also, the smaller version here is going to be made available, too, for a little bit lesser money, too, so. And people can get this all in one color if they want, and they paint it, for like half the price. Marsupial says, I'll take 2. But, hey, it's... Oh, yeah, and for those that don't know, I am actually on Webtoons now. I have my first little comic strip on Webtoons.
There you go, brother.
And I'm working on a second one. So, which will probably be up, not this week, but next week. So every hopefully 2 to 3 weeks I'll be putting up all little short things from the Crossverse.
Very good. Great success.
Hopefully other ways, it's just, another way for people to see. I'm a Canadian Shield in my every bathroom. Says Marsupial.
Oh, so I'll get the Webtoon link for you. I have Discord up.
Yeah, well, it should have. Well, no, it wouldn't be in this one. I didn't have it then.
Yeah, but I got it right here.
Yeah.
I got it covered. Yeah. So going back to that character creator, it's actually pretty easy to get the hang of, and if you want to be precise, if you know like say Niobe's height in metric, they do have it measured in the corner in centimeters, so you can see how tall you're making your character and everything. Like
breast
that.
size.
You can adjust that, but they don't let you be specific. So it's kind of like best guess.
You know, in Cyberpunk, you can customize your junk.
Yeah. Well, they removed all third-person views of the game, so all the customization's kind of worthless outside of like slight reflections.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I'm still going to customize my character, though.
Of course. Everybody is. I'm going to spend all this time wasted on something that's not even going to show up in game. I do too. I won't even deny it.
Let's see. Serpio says half price. What for then? I'll have a Canadian Shield in every bathroom. You've got 4 bathrooms? Wow. No, I just wonder how serious you are about that.
He's obviously joking.
Yeah, I know.
For now. Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah.
Of course, if you buy a Canadian Shield towel, then you can have one in every bathroom cheaper.
Yeah, and he can get that off of Red. I think he can get that off of Redbubble, maybe even Teespring. I'm not sure.
I know Redbubble does beach towels, so you probably have one up.
Yeah.
What about the Canadian Shield waifu pillow?
Not yet. How
Life
much?
size. Largest waifu pillow.
This one, Marsupio, all 3 colors is 500. One color you paint it basically 250.
Actually, life-size Canadian Shield waifu pillow would probably be more like a futon.
Yeah, at 8 foot.
Be like a Canadian futon, and then like the shield would actually be like one of the cushions.
Yeah. Like, you ever see those life-size Snorlaxes that they sell? It's like a big bean. From Pokemon, it's that big like bear Pokemon that sleeps all the time.
I don't know the only thing I know from Pokemon is Pikachu.
Yeah. Well, so it's like this bear that just eats and sleeps. That's all it does. It's called Snorlax. Okay. And they actually sell life-size versions of it.
I have no childhood nostalgia for Pokemon. I was too old even then.
Okay, and also I'm going to say both sizes will come signed by me and George. Where is Haack? He's gone. He was here, he left about 10-15 minutes ago.
He had to head out.
Yeah. Mark Timio, for the love of God, I earned him 500. Maybe next year. Laugh out loud. And free shipping.
I would say to creators, don't worry about the toys and the statues.
Yeah. Hey, they're not. Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm worried about a lot, mainly. You know, hey,
Rick, that's actually like a personal piece. Like I have like a Niobe Funko doll, right? That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm never planning on selling it or making any more. But I mean, if I ever got to like, you know, I'm making $100,000 on campaigns, right?
Yeah.
Then I might look into that, you know, because then the fan base is big enough that someone might actually want one and pay for one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. My thing is, I can offer it.
What happens is that a lot of these new creators, they get all excited, and they start spending extra money on a whole ton of extra shit that they don't really need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's the thing.
Game about my character. I'm going to pay $1,000 for someone to start working on it, or I need a cartoon of my character, or I fucking need fucking Pogs or something. Like you don't, you need the book.
Yeah. Well, that's why for me it's like, unfortunately it is as expensive as it is, and I make a little bit of money off of it, but the main thing is, sort of getting it out there. It's people seeing neat stuff, and if somebody wants to buy it, they can. If not,
It's yours to keep.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Well, that, like I said, George was nice enough to make that one for me at the same time as he was making the one for my customer that actually bought one during the campaign. Mm-hmm. So, I'm obviously keeping that one. And I'm keeping the prototype, too, that I colored or spray painted.
If you lower your expectations, you could actually, as a promotional thing, maybe like a trailer or whatever, you could get an animated version of like a scene done for basically nothing. If you go over to Newgrounds and pitch an idea and somebody likes it enough. Just like a minute and a half at most.
You want to see what I picked up recently, Rick?
Sure. Marsupial says he wants a Niobe pop.
Yeah, well, again, I would love to be able to make them. It's just they're expensive, right? And I can't see anyone really buying them,
Yeah. Well, there's the thing. As you know what the price is. You know what you need to charge for it for somebody.
And then I get like Funko Pop, coming down my throat for stealing their fucking design. You know what I mean? Lawsuits from Funko Pop.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the thing would be for that. Harley Quinn.
All right, so I have no idea if this is any good. I bought it on a whim. This is Harley Quinn Black Label #1. So I figure if it's from the DC Black Label, it might be half decent. We'll find out.
Well, that's part of the Murphyverse, right? It says White Knight on there.
Yeah, Sean Murphy is on there. And we got Iron Maiden, Legacy of the Beast, Night City. Is that what it is? Yeah, Night City #4 of 5.
Yeah. Marsupial says, or at least a Wi-Fi pillow, a Niobe Wi-Fi pillow.
Well, I got a lead on those, so we'll see. From Brian Polito, this is the store copy of Hell Witch. So if you don't want to spend $20 on shipping and $24 on a comic, and you wait 3 months, then you can just get them in your comic shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, this here's got a story from Chuck Dixon in it, and Avocado. Fucking what's his name there? Preston Acevedo.
Jungle Comics.
You guys know him? So
nothing.
Preston Acevedo. I just call him Avocado. And Chuck Dixon. And then the other story's by Ben Dunn. So this is like from Antarctic Press.
Oh, cool.
So there's that. From Brian Ball and Rags. And look for the crossover. Not even a crossover. Look for Niobe's special guest appearance in Sailor Ragoski coming to the Rags trade paperback on Patreon very soon. But in the meantime, you can go to the comic shop and pick up Rags #7 of 7, the last issue in the first season.
Ooh, cool.
And then last but certainly not least, also available at your comic shop if you're lucky enough to find one, is from Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini, Common America.
Cool.
So there we go. Did Rick shut it off because it showed boobies?
No. No, it's circulating. You gotta talk for it to stay there.
Yeah.
What? I gotta talk? Oh my God, Rick.
No, that's a
No, this is a cool looking book. It's got the back cover is done by Luigi Terrell, who's also the artist for Rags. So that's really cool to see. And he's also done variant covers for Niobe. And the art, if you've never seen Common America on the inside, It's cute. It's funny. It's almost Street Fighter-ish looking. So boom! I can't wait to read this one tomorrow night because I'm gonna bring it to work.
Timothy's wondering where the buckler figure is to John.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, he's there.
So those are just like some of the books that I buy and collect anyway.
Cool. Well, I don't think we got much happening at the moment. So maybe
but I did all my tchotchke packages too, man. We're doing good.
Cool. You want to promote, Larry?
Promote? Haven't I done that all show?
Well, promote for yourself.
There's nothing to promote right now. Well, I mean, honestly, there's nothing to promote at the moment. We're working on fulfilling the Kickstarter. We're going to do an Indiegogo in probably January, February, but that's, like 4 months away. So, not much to really talk about now. We're just, we're getting people for the next book. We secured Luigi Troll Rags for a variant cover for our next book. We got Chris Enod of Lady Death fame coming over for our next book. So I'm I'm making overtures to cover artists. We're getting our variants figured out. But yeah, other than that, it's Rebel Gaming XXX on YouTube and on Twitch.
Uh-huh.
We'll be going live tonight. In fact, I was going to invite you guys to either hang out and stream or come live with me as I make my my Phantasy Star 2 character.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to make Niobe tonight, brothers.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, provided that the game doesn't crash or fuck up on me, yeah.
Yeah.
It's every time I install a new computer game, the first thing I always wonder is what the fuck's going to go wrong,
Metal, you want to promote?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about it, but there's this amazing book that's out on campaign right now called The Buckler. Everybody should go and sign up for it.
I backed it.
Yeah. I'm semi-invested in this. No, I'm highly invested in it because I've been watching John make it the entire time, and it is a great book. And he put me on as an editor credit, so that's kind of cool, too. Everybody go back to Buckler.
Well, I will have to second or third that or whatever that as well. Go back to Buckler. Go check out my webtoons, Cross Comics. Be here tomorrow as I'm drawing one of my characters. Everybody knows. Go check out all my stuff. Go check out my website. There's always, well, not always, but hopefully soon those are going to be up there on the store if you want to buy them. Although I highly doubt anybody here's got the money for that. Although I wish. So we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful night, day, whatever it might be for you.